morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time you're watching this, but I'd like to welcome you to week 7. I'm glad you guys are back, and I'm glad I could share my thoughts and views on my walk through ministry. And it has been a crazy adventure so far. We're already into the second month of the year, and I've already put up a few videos. So this is the week 7, and it's been great. Everyone right now should be just getting off of your love week of Valentine's Day and everything. So I thought it would be fitting to actually go over love. This past week I went to Ignite, which is the youth adults fellowship, and it was actually about love as well. And listening to a lot of the different scriptures and the thoughts of what other people had, and just what God expects of us when we're here on earth, and how we should love, and the way we should take our relationships and everything has been a great eye-opening event for me. It was it's helping me through a lot of things right now through my life, and the kind of relationship I want to have with God and the person that I want to end up with, and expectations and things like that. So actually, with love though, I just wanted to focus more on one area, and that is actually expectations, because I believe expectations can really hurt your relationship with God and with a significant other. So I wanted to go over that. So with that, with expectations, there's with whatever stage you're in, whether it be being single, whether you're dating or married, we all come with expectations of how each stage should come, or how each stage should progress and go through. When you're single, you're really going out there, really trying to search for someone that's right for you, finding that one who really completes you and compliments you, and you expect them to be a certain way, to look a certain way and act a certain way, and really show their emotions a certain way. Which, yes, it's good to have those kind of views and goals for a person that you're going to try to bring into your life, but also I think it can also be very hardening and make things very difficult when you set your expectations a certain way. You have to have healthy expectations, I believe, and I believe that God wants us to have healthy expectations. You can't expect someone to complete certain voids in your life or fill certain holes that you have, because we're all human. We don't have that capability of filling those holes. We aren't meant to really complete a person, but to supplement a person, to really add on to a person's life and not to fill someone's life. We're there to really bond with each other, to love each other, yes, but in order to reach that final goal of being there with the Lord, being with God, to love God fully. So we're supposed to love God first, and then love our significant other, or the person that we're wanting to be with. And I think that's a really strong goal that I'm trying to have with my life, and putting God first for everything. And so far it has been amazing doing that, and trying to stand by that, and everything else kind of falls in its place when you put God first, because not only are you putting God first and giving him the glory and the love, but when you're doing that, he then blesses you back with love and favor and grace and hope, and gives you that back to you. So doing that, you are giving this back and forth, and I think that relationship of going back and forth and giving back and forth is really, really essential for a loving relationship, when it's with God, and also when you're with your spouse and significant other. So with that, there's also the dating stage and the marriage stage. Dating stage is when you're together, you're committed to each other, you're openly there for each other. Everyone knows that you're there for each other, and you're focused on making this better relationship with each other, finding out if you guys are fit to be together. And essentially it should lead up to marriage, where a marriage is that ultimate goal of having a relationship with a person in this life, where you're one and you have a oneness with each other. You have the same goals spiritually and physically and financially, and you guys are heading in the same direction, and you're not pulling each other down, demeaning each other, or holding each other accountable for past issues, and being able to forgive, and not only to have forgiveness, but also to be able to let the person redeem themselves from things that they may have done, and to really be there for each other, and to lift each other up and help each other become closer to God. And so that's what I really believe, that expectations can either hurt and break you, or really, or if you have healthy expectations, then it'll help your relationship with each other. But yeah, with bad expectations though, where you expect someone to come into your life and make everything all joyful and happy, and you'll have no problems, and yeah, it doesn't work that way. When you're in a relationship, it's all work. It's really work. It's how much you want to put into it. How much is this other person really worth you sacrificing pretty much yourself, sacrificing your habits of how you do something so that the other person feels comfortable or feels like they're loved. How much are you willing to go out of your way to make that other person know that you're thinking of them, making them feel special? Because I believe that you should make that other person feel special when you're in love with somebody. Go out of their way. And it doesn't have to be big things. It doesn't have to be crazy, big old projects of flowers filling rooms and big old balloons and fireworks and things like that. It can be something small as just writing a letter to somebody, letting them know that you're thinking of them, or just putting post-it notes up before you leave in the morning, if you leave before them. Just small acts of kindness. I think those are very good. When you start expecting things to be more, that's where it starts leading to other feelings. You go from expecting something and you don't get it, so you get disappointed, and when disappointment comes, then you get frustrated, and when the frustration starts setting in, you become angry, and then when you start getting angry, that's when you start having problems, because you start acting on your anger. You act out of your emotion, you act out on what you're feeling rather than what God has intended for you in this relationship. So to be having expectations and having healthy expectations, know that really the one expectation that you really want to have is that God will always have you in His plan. If you can just expect, I expect God to always have me, because He promises that. That's His promise, and that's what you can not really expect. Well, yeah, that's what you expect. So, but yeah. So with that, just a couple of things to really help you through those times, because I know probably this past week, this whole love week, you probably had some expectations that were either not met or were far exceeded. If you were disappointed in any kind of way or form, it's probably because you had high expectations. You expected someone to do something, whether it be an anniversary and you were expecting them to give you a gift, or Valentine's Day came and you waited all day and you're waiting for some kind of flowers or some kind of notation of someone having interest in you and nothing happened. But you set your expectations high, and so we can't do that to ourselves, because that's where we lead ourselves into this whole chain of expectations all the way up through anger. If you had expectations and they were far exceeded, it's because you had a healthy expectation. You didn't put too much of the pressure on to those expectations, where you're putting yourself out there and all of a sudden you got these flowers and you got these gifts and you were taken out and like to dinner. And so having healthy expectations will always make your life better. So with healthy expectations, I think that it's good to think of a couple different things when you're trying to figure out how much to expect and things like that. So for one, always try to accept God's plan. Accept it. It's God's plan. He knows what's going on. He knows the future, He knows the past, and He knows the present. Don't get discouraged, because everything that we go through, everything that we come up against, that out of our control really is because of God's plan. He has something set up for us. He's getting us prepared for something, or He has something that He's building us up to. He's building our character and building us as a person to really get to where He wants us to be ready for what He's about to show us. And then for number 2 is embrace your step, whatever step you may be in, whether you're single, whether you're dating, whether you're married, whether you're just going through certain issues in your life. Doesn't even have to be about relationships, but to really embrace wherever you're at right now. Whether you don't have a job, maybe you got fired, or something happened where you have to move somewhere else, and things like that. Embrace it. Really look at what's going on in your life and take everything that's happening, find the good that you can get from it, and pull it out. Pull out what can benefit you from whatever you're going through. Whether if you lose your job, hey, it's a vacation, get some rest. Or you have to move, well, you're going to a new area and you're going to learn about new cultures and things like that. So really embrace your step that you're in. Whether if you're single, be single and enjoy what it means to be single. Find yourself with God, and finding that connection with you being single, and don't have those things that of wanting to be in a relationship really burdening you with that, because that time will come when you can be in a relationship, when you hit that next step, when you can start dating. I know that was kind of difficult for me for a long time, and I'm still working through it, because I want to have a relationship. I want to be full on in a relationship with somebody that I can connect to and be around all the time, and really be there and give myself to this person wholeheartedly. Me personally, I have a very giving heart. I like to go out of my way and do things for the person that I care for, and so trying to hold back and being that type of person when I'm caring for somebody is difficult for me, but that's my step. That's what God's putting me through right now, and I think I've learned a lot about myself and being in the step I am currently. So loving it, that I'm being able to have this relationship with God, and finding God's so much closer to me now than I've ever felt Him in my life. So I'm very grateful for what He's doing in my life. And then even if you're in your marriage step, remember to always give 100% to each other, or just dating step, just give. I think being in love with somebody is about giving, not about what you're expecting back, but what you're giving to them. Continuously give. Don't think that you're doing this because I want this back. Do it because I'm giving this because I want to give this to this person, and not expect something to be in return. I want to love this person wholeheartedly, give my whole person and my being and my love and give it to them, and also give it to God. You should be giving it to God first, then giving it to them, and then everything will just fall into place, really, when it comes to loving loving God and loving the person that you're with. So those are some of my recommendations. I know that a lot of the times we can get lost in what we are doing and what we're in life in general, and we kind of, with expectations, whether it be expecting love or expecting certain jobs to come through or certain incomes and all those different things, that it can be very cluttered and we can let things get to us very easily. In Genesis, though, Genesis chapter 7 verse 16, Noah is building an ark for the flood, and in that verse, though, the animals he's supposed to get these animals into this ark, and all these animals, pairs of animals, come, and they're supposed to come here to be saved from this flood. And in there, though, it doesn't say that Noah went out and individually picked each one of these pairs of animals, brought them over, and put them in the ark. He didn't go out there and pull them in. It was God that had sent these animals to Noah. While Noah was doing what he was commanded, God commanded him to make this ark, to make it so that when the flood comes, that he's ready and he can save himself along with his family and the animals that God is sending. So with that, you just really see that there are certain things that we are meant to do where God commands us to do it, where God is having us build whatever life we have, to build whatever relationships we have, and he will take care of everything else. He will take care of bringing the animals. He will take care of bringing whatever life has for us that we can't control, because God has control. We can't expect to be able to handle everything and to take care of everything. So for us to accept that God's plan is God's plan, and that it'll always be in favor of us, as long as we do what he is commanding, then we don't have anything to worry about. He will take care of the details. Don't worry about the details. He will take care of it. So with that, I would like to say I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope that is very blessed with fruit and love, and I hope that this past week was amazing for you. I hope that expectations didn't bring you down. If it did, it's okay. There's still time to redeem ourselves from it and to pull ourselves up, because God is great and God is love. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching my videos still, if you're still watching. If you're not watching, then I hope you guys come back. Also, remember to please share this video. Please let other people know about it. It could really reach out to somebody that is having troubles with expectations or love, or any of my previous videos. Please remember to like it, love it, share it, spread the word, because the more people this hits, the more chances it might have to reach somebody that is in need of it. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you have a blessed week. All right, thank you.